Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we'll be looking at email etiquette. Means that whenever you are writing an email, any kind of email, there is a certain etiquette that you need to follow, such as how the language that you use, the words that you use, and then the formality, the tone, and everything. Because it depends on the respondents of the email. So without further ado, let's look at what is email etiquette. So the explosive growth of email has created many problems. We have been using a lot of emails nowadays as a means of communication, especially in the working environment. So the use of email have been abundant, mainly because there have never been any strict standards or guidelines on how to use it. People just learn to write the title, write the recipient, write the content, and then send the email. As a result, the systems have been overloaded, discrimination have been rampant, reputations damaged, feelings hurt, and time have been wasted. Because no one knows the correct way on how to use email, on how to write an email. So people just willy-nilly just post anything that they want, just send reckless things, irresponsible items or something without any consequences for them. So that is why we need to learn how to use, how to have an etiquette while writing emails or using emails. So that's 7 deadly sins of working with emails. Okay, sometimes when you are writing an emails, there are certain things that you might and should not do while you are writing an email. First, you wish you can backtrack after sending. That is not possible. Whatever email that you have sent, with all the content, all the bad things that you have included, you cannot backtrack. You cannot reclaim it, nor undo send. Okay, so that will be a problem. Maybe you have bad grammar there. Maybe you are bad mouthing. You accidentally send it to someone, and then maybe you didn't include the necessary things. So you cannot backtrack, you just can move forward. You cannot undo that send. Like some of the messages that we can use now that can delete your messages. But emails, no. Whatever have been sent will stay there until the person, the recipient, deletes it themselves. Second one, you forget to add attachment. That is one of the sins as well. Especially when you are dealing with other clients that require you to provide some sort of proof, some sort of like documentation. So when you forgot to add the attachment, you are you are not fulfilling what you are required to do. So that is very bad for you. Shows how unprofessional you can be. Right. Third one, you sometimes send email when you know a telephone call would be better. Sometimes people we understand that people doesn't really like to call. They doesn't really like to interact through phone calls. So they prefer sending emails. But you know that when you are calling the person, you will get instant response, you get faster feedback. So but you still use email, which sometimes might not be seen, might be just ignored. So that is one of the sins. Sometimes you're better off calling rather than you sending an email. Okay. The fourth one, you haven't done housekeeping or deleted any messages for a long time. Sometimes most of the time the emails build up. Sometimes you only have 10, you have 100, you have thousands, sometimes tens or tens of thousands of emails. Maybe of spam, any website that you sign up, maybe on work. Those are emails that come in every single day. So if you don't do some housekeeping or delete any old messages, it will be hard for you to look at the current, up-to-date messages that you might need. Maybe the previous message that you need, maybe you need to favorite it or something, but you didn't do it. Then you will have a hard time to find it back. So that will be a problem for you, because maybe the email is very important and then you don't have it, then you might be in trouble. Fifth one, you have sent a private or confidential messages via email, which you later regretted. Okay, maybe you are gossiping, maybe you are badmouthing someone. You send it through email to someone. Okay? Like I mentioned earlier, you cannot backtrack. You cannot backtrack. After you send, it is sent. You cannot undo it. So this is not all of people, but some people might use the what you have said in the email as proof of you being bad mouthing the boss or something. So that is very very detrimental and dangerous for you, because you are compromising yourself. So be careful when you are writing emails. So use it for work only. And then sixth one, you sometimes send messages off quickly without greeting or sign off. That can be considered rude. You don't have the proper etiquette. So you need to write emails that have at least a short greeting and a sign off. So if you don't have that, you are considered rude and inappropriate. Okay? And then last one, you often send messages without checking through for good grammar, spelling and punctuation. Okay. So sometimes you have you miss type something, or maybe you don't have the correct grammar, all those kinds of things. Then you check, you submit it to the recipient. So they might find you has been unprofessional. You didn't check your work, you didn't check what you are writing, you are let the spelling errors keep on being there, then don't have punctuation. So this shows that you are not prepared. You just do things willy-nilly, which is a very bad thing for you, because we as people in the working environment, we need to show that we are being professional and being the best worker that we can be. So before you write or submit anything through email, please make sure that you send and check everything before you send it. Okay? Right, what do you think so about this? Stop for a bit, look at the title and understand the concept of the good, the bad and the ugly of email. What is the good part of the email? What is the bad part of the email? And then what is the ugly part of the email? Put it down in the comments. Show what you understand about this one. Okay? So there are 10 lazy email habits that you or other people might do. Okay? First thing, using vague or outdated subject lines. Sometimes you're not being direct with the title. For example, you want to ask for funds, you want to ask for clarification. Then the title you might be want to ask something. That is very vague, very very unclear. You are beating around the bush, so that is not very good. Okay. And then second one, not using a greeting or sign off. Like I mentioned earlier, you just want to get the message out, which is considered rude. Okay? Try to be a bit like, just use a short greeting, or just finish off with regards, something like that. So that's a very simple thing to do. Okay. Third one, not proofreading. Grammar, spelling, punctuation. If you don't check, that is problematic. Okay. Fourth one, using abbreviation or acronyms. It is not to say that it is bad to use acronyms or what, but please, if you want to use it, please make sure that those acronyms are what we usually use in the business area. Okay, like ASAP or IMY. Okay, LMY. Let me know. In my opinion, I know those kinds of things. And then if you want to shorten the company's name or something, make sure you write the whole thing first, then you use abbreviations and acronyms of the word. Okay. And then fifth one, using the wrong case, meaning that uppercase, lowercase. So you don't have to write everything in all capital words or all uppercase. You are not screaming to them. Okay? You are writing an email, a proper email. So use uppercase and lowercase accordingly. If it's a proper word, then you use the first letter as the uppercase, then the rest should be in lowercase. while normal words will be done in lowercase. Sixth one, not thinking about who really needs to see the message. In short, you are not using the CC function, carbon copy function. Carbon copy function is where you want to let the person who should be looking at the email other than the recipient to be able to look at the recipient. For example, you want to send to the client, you should let your boss, your manager, your other work people that are in the same department as you to look at it. Okay? Then you use the function of the CC, include the emails of the boss. Okay? So if you don't do that, it might be problematic because sometimes the boss want to see the proof that you have sent the email. If it's just they don't want to like come to your table or look at your email or something, so that is not appropriate. Okay, use the CC function. Then the seventh, writing everything in one long paragraph. It should not be do like that. You just split it into different paragraphs so that it will be clear and they can the recipient can read it accordingly without any problems of reading. Okay. First paragraph, maybe you talk about the situation. The second one, you talk about the content that you want to talk about, and then the last one, you just closing, something like that. Just simple paragraphs, but there are paragraphs there. Eighth one, vague message with details missing, meaning that you are not being direct. You are just I would like to talk about the issue like of the students that we are facing. They have been complaining. They are not being direct. If you want to talk about bullying, you directly go. I want to talk about the issue of bullying. Some of the students have been bullied or something. Those are direct. Okay. Don't be vague. Using an unfriendly tone. Number 9 means that you are just what we say. How do you your messages there are being very like what we say that you're being angry towards the recipient. That is very bad. It's very unfriendly. It's very unsuitable. Okay, so your email should be as flat as ever. No need to have like happy tone or angry tone. Just be natural, be neutral as much as you can. Okay. Then the last one, messages that are plain sloppy, is that you are not taking consideration of who is reading the email. You are just writing email just for the sake of writing. No punctuation. Suddenly there's a comma, then your paragraph, different paragraph, one paragraph, then 3-5 paragraphs, so those kinds of things. Your email is such a mess that people doesn't want to read it. They just delete it. They thought it is spam. So be careful. Okay. So as people who are using email constantly, as people who are in the business area or any kind of workplace environment, so you need to make the most of the email. How do you do that? First one, turn off your email alert. That is very important because sometimes you get a lot of emails during the day while you are working. Okay, but sometimes they come in like not work related, maybe like spam. So turn off your email alerts for those. Okay, you can select which email that you want, and the rest you can silent it. Okay, so whenever there is email, sometimes you need to pay attention to the email while you are not doing your work. So that is very careful. Okay. Second one, respond to message promptly, meaning that if you got the message, directly respond to it if you can, if you are not too busy. Okay. The email is what we say the second fastest way for you to interact. Another fast way for you to interact with one another, especially in the working environment. So if you are able to, everyone is able to respond quickly enough, it should be very, the work will be very easy to be done. Okay. Third one, think carefully about your subject heading because you want the recipient to be as clear as possible before they even read the body. Okay? So your title should be clear and concise. Okay? Keep the caps off. Doesn't mean like cap like that, but capital letter, those kinds of things. Okay, do not scream to the other person on the side of the table. Okay, use lowercase and uppercase correctly. Fifth one, get your greeting and closing right. So like I mentioned many times, if you want to, what we say, just provide like hello or assalamualaikum, a good morning to the person, and then you can finish up with thank you or regards. So any kind of closing the sentences, right? And then sixth one, send a CC to those who need to know. Not everyone you know. You are not sending it to your family. You are sending to people who are related to what you want to them. You related to what you are trying to do. For example, you are trying to apply for like sponsorship, or maybe apply for funds for a company project. So you need to see your boss, see your manager, your department manager, those kinds of things, right? 7. Check your message carefully and get it right the first time. It means that you need to check, like I said, grammar, punctuation, those kinds of things. Check, and check. Then you can safely send it after you've done your proofreading. 8.1. Do regular housekeeping. Delete old messages, delete spam messages, delete messages that aren't related to what you do, as well as not from which emails that are not part of your department. They might not might concern you. Okay. 9. Take pride in your messages. Proofread and check, like I mentioned earlier. Check, and check. 10.1. Don't panic. You can always pick up the phone. If you cannot email, just call the person, just to be safe. If you prefer email, then you can email it, but make sure you use it properly. Okay. So, building relationships online. Building relationship means that through email you can interact with another people, whether for formal relationship or casual relationships. So, using email, you can create a real bond. It is how what you say, it's how you say it. So the way you write in the email or any kind of messenger will show how you want to build a bond with the person. You are interacting with them. You are like what we say, trying to get to know them. Do those other things. To this one, you can also show some emotion. For example, further our meeting yesterday about a new project, you can discuss furthermore. You want to show interest. You want to show that you are willing to help. So that is how you show your emotion there. And then use the visual language. I can see what you mean. You use those kind of things. You are trying to show that they are really paying attention to what you are saying. Okay. So this one, sloppy emails. Examples of sloppy emails. Yes, you can go online for more samples of sloppy emails. There are a lot, because people tend to do sloppy emails because they don't want to bother with doing it the correct way. So try to go online, try to find out some other samples of sloppy emails that might people that might use, and then try to show it to others so that they can be able to know what kind of sloppy emails that they might find. So at the end, remember that the way you write your emails shows how well you are prepared in doing that. Okay? If you are able to write good emails with proper punctuation, proper grammar, proper spelling, spelling, those kinds of things, and then you have the greetings, and then the salutations, the good subject, and then in paragraphs, and then we have the closing. So you are able to do that, you are able to write the good emails. But when you are doing a sloppy email, you don't have the necessary details, you are being vague, then you are writing bad emails. So try to remember those kinds of things that you need to include, so that you will be able to provide a good email which shows off your professionalism. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.